Now let's hear from some of last year's award-winning apprentices who are sharing their apprenticeship journey.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
I can take some camera.
Not looking promising, is it?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
While I was working at the O2 Arena, I found out through the head chef who worked at the O2 at the time. I found out about apprenticeships by default, to be honest.
I found out about my apprenticeship by looking online.
Actually, it was somebody from Severn Trent who visited my school.
I found out about my apprenticeship whilst I was working for the NHS.
So whilst applying through universities through UCAS, I came across the apprenticeship opportunity on Lloyds Bank.
I found out about my apprenticeship through some representatives coming into my school.
I found out about my apprenticeship through the Mace Group website.
I've always thought that apprenticeships are a good opportunity to have a balance between learning on the job whilst gaining experience as well.
At first I had my sort of doubts about it, but then eventually when I found out more about it and the benefits, it definitely was the right decision to make.
I think my perception was that apprentices get paid £2 an hour, they do admin work, and like it was very like micromanaged as such.
Actually, I didn't really have much of a perception because it wasn't really talked about in my schools. So after doing further research, I realised it was a great opportunity to earn whilst you learn.
It's a win-win situation, both for the company and investing in you, and obviously you as the apprentice learning and hopefully coming out with a full-time job at the end of it.
I thought they were more for younger people.
I thought it was only available to the construction industry, but now after starting my apprenticeship with Lloyds Banking Group, I've realised that you can they're available to accountants, scientists. You can become anything you want by doing an apprenticeship.
Personally, I thought apprenticeships were quite a positive thing. The fact that you can gain experience while working and sort of not be in any debt going to university.
I chose an apprenticeship was because I was gaining the real world experience while securing a degree.
I knew I wanted a career in finance, so if I went to university I would have spent 3 years there, then worked for another Big 4 accounting firm for another 3 years, so 6 years in total to work towards my ACA qualification, whereas if I did the apprenticeship route, I'd done the same ACA qualification within 4.5 years.
The Severn Trent programme is a degree apprenticeship, meaning Severn Trent pay for my degree, I'll get valuable on the job experience and I escape the university debt.
I chose to do an apprenticeship because I knew that university wasn't for me full time. It wasn't something that I wanted to do.
I found that an apprenticeship programme was offering a better service for me as I was able to learn and build on my skills. I really wanted to sort of advance in my career, and I knew that by doing an apprenticeship it offered me the facility to do that. My family and friends have always been supportive of me because I'm quite wild, so an apprenticeship programme wasn't something that was out of the ordinary for me to choose.
There was a lot of stigma attached to it. They thought that by doing an apprenticeship it undermined my ability.
They never imagined that I could be doing an apprenticeship with Lloyds Bank whilst gaining a permanent position and completing my degree.
Typically, I think in Asian culture, a lot of people think going to university is the favoured option because they get the graduation ceremony.
I think they wanted me to go to university, and I think that was a huge pause in terms of my decision between going to university or doing an apprenticeship.
All my family and friends were extremely supportive, really. I've always sort of had that good support network.
Some people also believed it was for younger people, so they couldn't understand why I would do it in my 30s.
For me, the best thing about my apprenticeship is sort of the experience that I've gained. Doing the job sort of in the real world and gaining that proper experience.
I had an opportunity to experience different rotations.
The best thing from my apprenticeship programme has been the experience that I've gained and the events that I've worked at, such as the Brit Awards 2020.
It opened up a lot of doors and opportunities that I didn't know I would have otherwise. So now I'm 24 years old, I've already got about 7 years worth of work experience behind me.
The people that I've met, the experience that I've gained, and also the opportunities that I've been on.
I was quite timid, quite shy, like I would have never done this as an example, and just being able to develop my personal and interpersonal skills, I think that's been the biggest thing. I've definitely grown in confidence.
Personally, I don't think apprenticeships are seen in a negative way anymore, or maybe not as much as what they used to be.
I think there's been a really change of shift in people's mentality around doing an apprenticeship. I think now it's really highly regarded.
Now they are available in so many disciplines that it proves apprenticeships are really successful.
I feel apprenticeships are beginning to be seen in a more positive light, especially that there are more apprenticeships available and people understand that it is for a range of ages.
I think it's just especially like in Asian culture, a lot of people think university is the favourable option because that's what, you know, past generations have done. I think that's probably one reason why apprenticeships are seen quite negative.
I feel apprenticeships aren't seen as negatively nowadays. There's a lot of opportunities and a lot more of a diverse range of apprenticeships people can do.
I think apprenticeships are definitely still seen to be a negative option. And I think it's quite interesting because I'm not sure where the misconception sort of emerges from.
There is still a negative side behind apprenticeships. However, the stigma is slowly being broken down as more people are seeing that it's actually more beneficial for you if you don't want to take the traditional route of university.
I think people need to consider apprenticeships because for some people the more practical route works better for them.
It gives you the experience that you need in the workplace, also your education alongside it. It gives you more confidence as you're working with people that you wouldn't usually be around in a traditional school setting.
I think people should consider doing an apprenticeship is because having that practical experience is incomparable to just a qualification, and you would be able to reach your full potential in your career.
Whereas with doing an apprenticeship, you know, you can sort of earn and learn. You can also sort of test the water, so I can do like different placements and I can see if I like it, and if I don't like it, it's okay because I'm still learning and I can sort of specialise in that industry.
I think people should consider doing an apprenticeship program as you gain a lot of skills and experience outside of the traditional route of university.
During the pandemic, at first it affected my apprenticeship probably a little bit negatively, just because of the fact it was something that I wasn't used to. A lot of my knowledge had been sort of learned on site and being in the office, sort of working around people. However, it also gave me, after a bit of time, gave me a bit of a benefit because it sort of gave me the opportunity to be more confident.
The pandemic has affected my apprenticeship journey by not being able to have that face-to-face teaching and interacting with other apprentices. But nevertheless, we have online tools which have worked out really good because we have recordings. We can see the lectures afterwards as well.
But I think in terms of work, it's somewhat an issue because we are having to work from home now, and you are missing out on, you know, that social interaction you have with your colleagues. I guess the work socials that you have just to break, you know, just for the end of the day, just to celebrate things like birthdays, company events, that kind of thing. So I think we do all miss out on that.
The pandemic has come with pros and cons in terms of my apprenticeship. Through the pandemic, I've been given a lot of opportunities to show my responsible side. I've been able to balance my work and uni life.
And again, it sort of showed me that, you know, you can be as effective not sitting with a team, you know, and I think it's more than anything taught me to be a lot more independent.
The pandemic has affected my apprenticeship journey as I was originally working at the O2 Arena as a commie chef. However, I was then placed on furlough, and then due to the current climate, there was no change with the lockdown, so I had to look for another job. During this time, it was extremely stressful because it also pushed back the date that I was going to complete my apprenticeship program. However, I was presented with the opportunity to work at a school as a chef manager.
Really ranged from working with schools within my area, so specifically within my borough and within my secondary school that I attended. And again, that was trying to push people again from BAME backgrounds to look at doing an apprenticeship. And I think alongside that, a thing that I sort of found that was quite prominent was like people's interview tips and like their CV experience.
After being shortlisted for the awards, I spoke with a group of young people who are a part of a pre-employability program. During this discussion, I discussed the benefits of the apprenticeships and my current culinary journey that I've taken, so starting as a commie chef and my development to a chef manager. I also explained the various different sites that I worked at, such as Wimbledon 2019.
After being shortlisted for the BAME Apprenticeship Awards, I've been given opportunities to meet with different people, the other shortlisted finalists, and also people have contacted me to do some mentoring opportunities.
I think I've become a little bit of a celebrity at Severn Trent, if I'm honest with you. I think a lot of people who I've not known before have approached me and come up to me, and they've actually asked, oh, I've heard, Jazz, you are doing this apprenticeship, and it seems like you're succeeding in it. I've got a son or daughter or any other family member or friend that's considering an apprenticeship. What advice can you recommend?
After being shortlisted for the awards, I tried to raise awareness with my own company and with companies of family and friends.
So after being shortlisted, I've recently participated in an Athena, all-women's Athena hackathon with over 300 plus coders and around the world. So my company, my team and I won the best company winner.
There was a few articles that were written about my journey and how I've succeeded as an apprentice to encourage other new recruits to join, and that it is the right way of working.
Sort of created a bit of a networking opportunity for me to reach out to some of the schools or the school that I went to and possibly or potentially now working on something that I can sort of speak to the children about apprenticeships and sort of give them an insight of my journey and how I can possibly affect them.
After being recognised at the awards, I have recently secured a promotion at Lloyds Bank, and I've also become part of the apprenticeship ambassador team.
I think the recognition that came with winning the award has been greatly beneficial to me. I think a lot of people now look up at me as an achiever. A lot of new apprentices come to me for guidance, and that's what's been most rewarding.
Being highly commended at the BAME Apprenticeship Awards was fantastic for me, as it allowed me to reflect on my culinary journey and to actually embrace how far I've come. It also helps me to want to push to continue to be an inspiration for others, to show them that this is possible.
After winning my award, I've achieved quite a few things. I think the highlight is winning the award more than anything, but I guess looking at different strands from that, I've won an award from the Mayor. That's when I was working with the Greater London Authority, and that was for my collaboration whilst working there. So I think that's been another great award. Another sort of achievement that I've also managed to attain was being able to present on the BBC radio, so being able to speak about apprenticeships and the positive aspects of doing an apprenticeship.
So I've definitely gotten recognition both in and out of my workplace, which has led me to other opportunities which I would like to take on in the future.
Winning the awards will be giving me a little bit of leverage to sort of speak to senior leaders that I may not have had the chance to speak to before, and give me the opportunity just to work with a wider network.
I think the awards are really important because it really showcases the talent that is out there within the BAME community. I think due to all the stigma that's attached in the Asian community, really celebrating apprentices in the BAME community has a positive impact to all those that are currently undertaking it or those that are considering to do an apprenticeship.
The awards are an excellent opportunity for individuals who have worked hard in to progress their careers, and they are able to echo apprenticeships.
It allows people within BAME communities who might feel underrepresented generally at work and through their apprenticeship to actually highlight and demonstrate their successes.
The awards are important because it allows the opportunity to create a noise to a wider network. It gives the opportunity to spread the name even further.
It allows apprentices to realise their achievements and to be able to give themselves a pat on the back and to be able to promote BAME apprenticeships to others.
I think the BAME Apprenticeship Awards are so important for people from black and minority ethnic groups, as it helps to showcase the talent that is within us that doesn't usually get broadcasted to the world.
I think by having the BAME Award, again, it showcases top talents, it showcases that people from BAME backgrounds can do well, and they can sort of go further in their career. And I think that's a major misconception, showing and supporting that pipeline of work. I think it's absolutely imperative, for any industry, but I think it's good to sort of highlight that BAME apprentices, we can do something, we're as good as other apprentices from different ethnic backgrounds.